Uh, Konnichiwa, minasan. Huh? Wait a minute. What's going on? Hello, I'm in the darkness. Oh, it crashed. Got it. I have crashed, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, I don't know why, but I just did. Anyways, enjoy the Metroid music while I fix this. I woke up from a nap. Like, I finished working, went to take a nap, and I woke up 10 minutes ago in a panic thinking that I had overslept and like passed the stream time. So that's great. It won't close. Hello? Alright, well, I'm gonna have to smother it to death. Technology does not fucking like me. Was the nap good at least? For the most part, yeah. I don't think I had any issues. I slept. I feel rested. I'd consider that a good nap. For the most part. Alright. Also, another reason Prime 2 is my favorite. The music. I know I talked about it a little bit, but holy fuck, the music in 2 is just so good. There's a few tracks in 3 that I think are better than some of the tracks in 2, but like overall, I just fucking love Prime 2. Holy. And also, look at the menus that I was talking about and why they're cool as fuck. I rotate the menus. I love this so much. Literally like one of the sickest menu experiences I've seen in video games. So we'll go right ahead. It really is. And then, one thing I will say, this is the original. This is the GameCube version. The only difference is that, because I'm on an emulator, I do have it upscaled. So, like, text will look really, really good, and the in-game will look good. But, like, the cutscenes and some of, like, the textures will be the original. Hi, Steven. I was showing them the menu. The beautiful menu and the beautiful title intro sequence with the music and all, and it's amazing. But yeah, so like this cutscene, you'll see that like the textures are really, really low because this is a 480p like cutscene. But yeah, the game itself will actually look pretty decently because it is upscaled properly. Yeah, because these are like pre-rendered cutscenes, I think, so they couldn't be modified. I don't know. We'll see how good it looks at the end of the day. Yeah, honestly, it looks pretty decent. It's not bad. Welcome to GameCube era. This is why I really want 2 and 3 to get remastered. Like the games just look so good already, and then just Prime 1 remastered made the first one look so good. It's not a show stream without a little scuff. True! True and real. I think I've actually had more scuff streams than not scuff streams at this point. Okay, yeah, it actually looks really fucking good. For only being upscaled, it actually looks really fucking good. Oh, that's right. We have the old style of maneuvering. Oh boy, I gotta get used to this again. So, remember how Prime Remastered I told you was a twin-stick shooter? Yeah, so movement and camera is all in one in the original Metroid because the C-stick wasn't used as a twin stick. That was used to switch beams. In order for me to rotate the camera, I have to lock the back. Ooh. At least it is funny. Yeah, that's true. There's gonna be a little. The gameplay might be a little slower just because of the fact that we're not doing twin sticks. And I love the just like how items get highlighted. Study houses, power grid, motivator. All systems are offline due to age or structural damage. This feels weird. Class gunship vessel register Samsaren. And I could read everything, but I'm... Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so used to the other one. This is gonna kill me. You're gonna do all the 3 games in a row. I'm gonna try to. I'm definitely gonna try to. Also, the back button is not shoot or missiles, so like the control scheme is very different from like the remaster and Prime 4 than from the OGs. So it is actually gonna take me a little bit to get used to in the beginning. Lore-wise, it's all in order. Yes, Prime 1, 2, and 3 all take place in direct sequence from each other. The 2D games technically... The 2D and the 3D games are technically not canon to each other. Also, fun fact, you start with power, the double jump in this game, and obviously we're going to lose it. All the other games in the back burner until you get to Prime 4. Pretty much! Pretty much! I will say, I'm gonna be visiting family for the Christmas break. There's a good chance that I won't be able to stream while I'm with family, but if I do, it will be Prime 4. Since I am taking my laptop with me, I might be able to hook it up to a TV. There's a chance. There is a chance. But yeah, fully expect this to be a teensy bit slower gameplay-wise. Purely because of the control scheme. Next edition 33 until you go through Metroid addiction, yeah. If at any point I have any issues with like Prime 2 or Prime 3, I could just put them on hold as well. Like that's not an issue, but as long as they're running smoothly, I'm just gonna try to go through them. This is my childhood. Also, it tells you this game tells you the percentage of stuff, like how far you scan them as you scan them. Just do what you want to do. That is in fact what I'm doing. But it's just like if I can't scan, like if I can't play the Prime games because something happens, then I do have like my stuff. Also, the icons for the weapons in this game are not hands, so, another little difference there. All these dead aliens are kind of a problem. Like we're building up the atmosphere. Prime 2 starts off, like, honestly really dark. Guessing the same will be for visors. So the visors actually have the same symbols that they did, except for the 2 other visors are different. They're not the thermal or the X-ray, so they do have new icons, but the icons for the scan and the combat visor are the same as they were in the first game. Oh look, these don't look like space-spired stations. What could they possibly be? This is totally not human stuff, right? This is not Galactic Federation that they're introducing in Prime 2. I may sound a tinsy bit monotone. I'm still kind of waking up. Yeah, so a lot of Prime 2 is just straight up an improvement over the first game. Oh, speaking of which, GFMC compound. Huh, I wonder what that is. Galactic Federation Trooper Security Station? Nonsense! I love the burnt noodle smell. Yeah, it's still there. If you want, I had a candle. I had a candle on earlier. I've been turning them on and off intermittently, so you could possibly, turn it on again. Just, you know, keep an eye out. Whoops. Hi. I forgot the control scheme and wasted a missile. I'm not gonna need that at all. Also, you get to see the 3D models when you, like, go to the menu and stuff. And you can, like, actually see everything. So that's another really cool detail about this game. And obviously the menu spins. Oh my god, I don't need to press Y to switch. It's just... fuck. Terminated from scan complete. How bad did you burn it to still have that smell? It was... I just put, like, a cup of... like, cup ramen in the microwave, and I forgot to put the water in it. It says 3 minutes. They just burnt. Like, they just got really hot. They got burnt. The noodles were black, but it wasn't, like, completely charred. It's, the consequence of my absent-mindedness. Will these little freaks drop the missiles that I wasted by accident? They will not. Oh yeah, they will, actually. I just didn't notice. Oh no! Oh yeah, another really good thing about Prime 2 is when you scan dead Galactic Federation troopers, you get their final log. Which is insane. And another thing is they don't give you the lore. Like, a lot of the lore tabs, like the research logs, like in the first game, you have to go to the menu to read them. And, their final logs are kind of depressing for a lot of them. Wait, what did it say? No taxes. Restore power to the system to operate it. Will do. Morph ball's still the same button. Thank God. I keep trying to shoot with R2, but it's not it. It's A. And then, you know, so that they don't have to make a scan log for every single trooper. They just had some of them be dead. Or, like, their computer be completely destroyed. 242 wounds from the weapons before that thing died, by the way. Actually insane, the amount of, like... You would think, with all this advanced technology, weapons would be a little more, potent? Adding more non-enemy NPCs. Yep. And especially once we get past this initial area. All of these is dead splinters. They put in work. They just landed, got cooked by a hive, and shit went south real fast. Metroid is dark. Metroid's pretty fucking dark. And as another quality of life feature, not in the old ones, I can't jump while in the morph ball, so I actually have to do the bob jumps. Here we go. Darker than black indeed. If you weren't expecting it before, Metroid has in fact joined the zombie genre. And the music goes fucking crazy. God, I love this shit so much. Can I get a little scan of that little morsel right there? Oh, these don't... Oh, okay, cool. I forgot about that. So, the pickups are no longer a research item that you need to scan, so that's good. I don't need to worry about scanning them all the time. Yeah, no, for sure. The first game definitely has a lot of charm in the music. It's just the second one is my personal favorite. Like, they're all really, really good. Prime 3's music is fucking amazing too, especially like the themes for the other bounty hunters. It goes crazy. I don't know why I'm destroying these. I don't need to. Cutscene, baby! You like how the tutorial in both Prime 1 and Prime 2 is just straight dark and, like, foreboding? Oh, I should probably mention, in the 100% cutscene at the end of Prime 1, you see Dark Samus being born from the goop of the Metroid Prime. Which, is kind of important when you consider the fact that Dark Samus just kind of shows up unannounced here, with zero explanation otherwise. To the dankness we go! And out of the portal we come out disoriented. Oh look, it's that blue stuff. I wonder how that got here. Kinda saw the secret ending yesterday after you finished, so I kinda know what may happen. Gotcha, gotcha. Cool. For Prime 1, right? Good, good. Oh look, we're taking damage. The bubble is gone. There's one upside to the loss of powers in this game. You don't go down to the power suit instead of the Varia suit, so no Slim Samus. We keep the basketball shoulders in this one. And lose literally everything fucking else. Well, we keep a few things. No double jump, no grapple beam, no missiles. Oh, we had the boost? I didn't even try. I didn't realize you get the boost at the beginning. Oh, and I guess you get the power bombs. Oh, basically every upgrade except the gravity suit you had at the start of 2. Neat. These shoulders aren't that huge anymore. Yeah, that's true. I hear an upgrade next to me that I can't get to. Oh, hi. And as we can see, they do kind of like tell you what the button inputs are, so you're not completely like left on your own to figure things out. But for the most part, it's, you know, they don't hold your hand. They just throw a bunch of enemies at you. I'm surprised these things aren't like a research thing that you need. Huh. I could have sworn they were. Oh no, the emulator text showed up in the top left. I'm ruined. I'm ruined. It's just... I think... I like how this theme of a very dark, foreboding start to the game carries on throughout all three games, and unless there's something before what we saw in the trailers, it also follows in with the fourth game, where there is just like a dark, like, you know, critical situation, some bad's real going on. I dig it. I really dig it. I love it. Okay, as I get used to the controls, I will reacquire my muscle memory from the past. And hey, the Galactic Federation managed to set up an actual base before they got fucking destroyed by a bunch of bugs. The scan visor is useful for gathering information. Yes, it is. Once we get to Torvus Bog, we'll hear my absolute favorite music throughout the entire series. Right, no double jump. Rip me. Oh look, a little buggy. Hi! The fuck? Oh. I do like, as far as like Samus's suit designs go, I am a personal fan of like the upgraded suits in 3 and of the dark suit. And the Viola looks really nice. The Viola suit in 4 is definitely looking really clean. I wonder though if there will be a second suit upgrade in 4. Because the Viola suit seems to be like the core one. Like the one that they're drawing attention to. And in Prime 2, they never showed the light suit in any of, like, the promotional material. Yeah, so, like, maybe there's gonna be another suit. I also really like the Dread suit, like the base one, not like the... I don't like it with the yellow colors, I like it with the blue. The Fusion suit is... it's alright. I wish it was more mechanical, but I guess it kind of makes sense why it isn't, since it's a fusion of biomechanics and shit. The 2D games don't really have any special suits outside of Dread. They're just recolors, typically. And even then, the recolors aren't amazing. The first color of the gravity suit was, you know, and I'm sure there's people out there that like it, but you know, the salmon pink gravity suit is not great, in my opinion. The color focus in this game is different from the first one. Yeah, there's a lot less... the first game was definitely a lot more saturated. At the very least in Talon Overworld. I know as we do stuff, or as we go to the other areas, we're gonna see the saturation shift a bunch. But like, for example, if I go to the world map, right, we started in the green area before, now we start purple. We start in purple. And the door locks and blast shields and all that stuff kind of starts making more sense. Yeah. And instead of being like the temple grounds isn't, you know, obviously we're not really in a desert, but it's interesting to see that the temple grounds is in this sort of barren, rocky, I guess it's a sort of highland, maybe it's like in a mountain, in the mountains. That's the impression I've always gotten, but there's like, you know, this dead tree So, in a lot of the logs, especially of the Luminoth, you get, like, it tells you that the world used to look a little different. Especially, like, the temple grounds. And the main reason it doesn't look the way it used to is because literally all of the fighting... this is, like, the main area where the fighting happened towards the end of the struggle. Even in the water zone, yeah. Yeah, the Torva's Bog is the best area in this game. Like, it's just so good. But, no, yeah, even in Torva's Bog, the saturation is definitely toned down from, like, the first game. Where, like, you had, like, very blue, very, you know, very clean, pretty water. In this one, it's like, it's definitely more greenish. There's definitely a less saturation throughout this game. And, I don't know. I like the areas in general. I like the thematic and the feel of the game. And I tend to like saturation. This is going to be a hot take. I think Call of Duty Ghosts is the best looking Call of Duty from back then, right? Obviously I don't play Call of Duty. I haven't played Call of Duty since, I think the last COD I played was Ghosts, actually. I thought, like, I liked Ghosts. I know a lot of people didn't, because, like, mechanically it was not the greatest, but I just think aesthetically and in terms of, like, the weapons and stuff, it was great. And one of the reasons I think I like Call of Duty's Ghosts, it didn't stand a ghost of a chance. I will hurt you. Very, very physically, I will hurt you. One of the reasons I like Ghosts is kind of because the aesthetic was low-key similar to Prime 2 in terms of the color choice. It was just a bit more saturated. Also, you like how the atmosphere is shifting colors? That's a hint. Atmospheric interference. Wasn't it a bit blandish? You mean like the game or like the color choice in Ghosts? I think the issue with Ghosts wasn't that it was bland. Black Ops, never mind. Lol. Yeah, so Ghosts' issue was that things kind of blended into each other because there wasn't contrast. There was very poor contrast between like characters and environment, so people just tended to blend into the background really, really easily, which made it difficult to kind of like do shit. Or just, you know, see people. Hello, turret. I'm not your enemy. You're a GF turret. Please. Okay. Well. I was thinking the wrong one. I mean, either way, I stopped playing it. Black Ops 1 definitely had less saturation in the colors, but I didn't think it was... I didn't really pay much attention to that. Yeah. I didn't feel like Black Ops was blandish. I liked it, but it felt like an and I guess that was the intent. It felt like an 80s, 90s war movie. COD Zombies, though? Actually, favorite COD Zombies map, because I never played World at War, and I know a lot of people really, really, really liked World at War. I did play, like, the zombies for World at War at someone's house at one point, and I only really remember, Verrückt and Nacht der Untoten. I think those are the two maps I remember from World at War. But, Kino in Black Ops was pretty Kino. Nacht is my fave. That's the OG. That's like the OG Zombies map. The GFS tier. And this is where we start seeing a lot of like Galactic Federation stuff, and like they're giving you like just so much information for the game, but yeah. I wasn't huge on the Black Ops 2 zombies maps, I'm not gonna lie. I think Black Ops 1 maps were way better. Nothing beats the OG for its simplicity, it was just fun mode to constantly do. Absolutely. I preferred compared to like the 2 World at War maps that I did versus the ones from Black Ops 1, I think I preferred Black Ops 1, personally. Shangri-La was my least favorite of the Black Ops 1 maps, though. That one kind of blew, like, just straight chunks. The Dasha system is where we're at, by the way. Look how much information they're giving you, how much lore. It's cool when they added more lore, but I think when it got too open, it was weird. Yeah, that's why I didn't like the Black Ops 2 maps too much. They were way, way too open. God, the GF Trooper armor is so cool. I really like how they did standard troopers in Metroid. Rewatching this cutscene makes me realize how fucked the Metroid universe is. There's so much shit that will literally just kill you. And she closes his eye. Oh, very sentimental. This is the reason why I say Metroid very well could be a horror series if they really wanted to. They could 100% turn this Metroid into a horror game. Granted, not a Samus. I don't think Samus would ever be at the point of like being in a horror. You'd have to get rid of all of her fucking tech in order to do that. Yeah, basically all of their logs are like saying like all the missions they were undertaking prior to what happened. Like they got an emergency contact. They were noticing like stuff from like the stuff wasn't normal. Like some animals would, he's just there like, oh yeah, wait, I killed this thing. Why is it still, you know, why did it come back? I'm gonna follow it. And then he follows it and finds and fucking murders him. You know, like there's gonna be like in Force 2, we're gonna see like some people dead out in the field, and it's literally because of that. Now, again, I'm not going to read through everything. I might go back and play Prime 2 on my own time and just kind of reread everything to get some lore, or I might just like do it in my own time, just so that I kind of get a refresher before Prime 4. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. There's so many things to scan that just give you so much information in this game, and you absolutely could get away with not scanning any of the lore in the game, but there's plenty of like environmental storytelling. You can kind of guess what happened. They just give you all the details if you scan. And obviously certain things for mechanics you need to scan shit, but Prime 2 really doubled down on like, hey, this happened right before Samus got here. Whereas like Prime 1, all of the information, or the vast majority of the information you get is from like way before. Except for the Space Pirate logs. Those were like present sometimes. But there's definitely more of that in this game too, so it's very interesting. And then that is the pilot's seat. Yeah. Commander K. Starling. Exeter, A. Exeter, commanding officer. A. Starling. I'm gonna translate alien text. And then as we get stuff, so you'll notice these have different colors. And then that's gonna be important. One of the ways for us to unlock doors is through the scan visor now, rather than entirely through everything else. From Prime 1 to Prime 2, you can see a shift and become more dark thematically. Yeah. Yeah. Not just more dark, but just kind of really doubling down on, like, really kind of fucked up shit going on. And I guess the same is kind of true with, like, the 2D games, where Super Metroid, you didn't really have anything, like, super fucky with the story. It was just kind of like, yeah, you're kind of dealing with space pirates. You know, nothing really huge. Super Metroid's story isn't... I get, you know, you don't play Super Metroid for the story, right? You don't really play any of the old Metroids for the story, and technically speaking, you typically don't play Metroid for the story as a whole. But it's just, it's interesting to see with, like, Fusion, finally other ships and Samus's ship. Yeah. It's interesting to see with, like, Prime 2 and Fusion and Dread, how they actually started showing you what's going on in the universe, rather than just being there like, hey, you're on this planet, some fuck shit's going on, go deal with it. Not what I meant to do. It's definitely cool, which is why, you know, a lot of people have the complaint, or have, like, the fear that telling too much of a story in Prime will hurt the series. Or not in Prime, but in Metroid as a whole. I think it's just a balancing act. I literally think it's just a balancing act, because I like learning about the story and the things that are going on in Prime, and in Metroid in general. I just don't want someone talking my ear off the entire time. That's the only thing that I'd say you just have to be careful with. Also, way more, just, there's a lot more little movement and traversal tools that they do in Prime 2 that... Like, you can tell that mechanically and gameplay-wise in Prime 2, they really doubled down and just kind of, like, were stepping into their element, trying out new things, seeing, like, what worked, what didn't work, and stuff like that, and it was just, you know, learning from one and really expanding on what one brought out. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's one of the guys that's just like, hey, what's that thing? When you read his, if you ever get a chance to, like, read all the logs, yeah, he's one of the ones that's just like, hey, that thing is dead. Best balance was on Prime 3 and Dread. I agree. I think 2 did pretty well, but obviously 2 just didn't really have NPCs the way... I mean, 2 has NPCs, just not the way that 3 did. And I think 3 did it basically perfectly. And I think that is the perfect amount. And Dread, absolutely. Being able to talk to the birds... Adam, quote-unquote, the computer talking to you at save stations, like, those things are fine by me. Like, they're not that bad. You still feel alone. You're still isolated. But there's a little bit of conversation and other characters kind of, like, giving you info, and it's still fine. There we go. And the same thing in 3, because, like, there is a whole section in Prime 3 where you're kind of, like, traveling with someone. And granted, you're kind of, like, invading a planet as well. Oh my god, I keep trying to do that for the missiles. Which is... I'm sure they saw like the stuff in Prime 3 and were like, yeah, we can do this for Prime 4, and then there's a good chance they just overdid it, and it's fine. I really, I'm beating a dead horse saying it. I think it's um, not a major gripe, but it's a gripe nonetheless. Another thing I like in Prime 2 in comparison to 1 is the way the missile opens up the beam. I don't like the completely like flowered, fluted opening. Hopefully they didn't go overboard. I don't think they're gonna go overboard. And again, even if they went overboard, as long as it's not other M, it'll be fine. Just, it'll be fine. As long as I get to explore the world and do my shit normally, I can deal with one annoyance. I'm not jinxing it. Reviews for Prime 4 are like 8 out of 10 typically. Like some people will give it like a 7, some people will give it an 8, some people give it a 9, which I think is probably overboard. Like, it has better reviews than Other M, and that's even within the Metroid fandom, so, you know, I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. What the fuck am I doing? Explosive damage may cause it to weaken. I did it again. Is it? This? It is. A heavy impact may cause it to shatter, and I know what that's supposed to be. I just need to scan this to turn it on. You'll be fine. We just want to see your reaction. Absolutely. I'm gonna go make fun of some stupid one-liners. Where the fuck's the thing I'm supposed to scan? Am I stupid? Am I misremembering here? Just a sec. Yeah, I'm going the right way. All right, let me see if my ability to aim is as goated as I remember it. Okay, a little bit more here. Well, okay, well, whatever. Oh, there it is. LOL. There we go. God, the twin stick shooting is just so... I hope... I think that's not just an issue with Metroid back then. It's literally just an issue with older games not having, like, consistent color schemes, control schemes. I'm so glad twin stick shooters became the norm for shooters on controller, because good fucking lord... After living with twin stick shooters for so long, going back to Prime without that always feels so bad. And I got good at this too. Like, I am pretty good at using it. It's just, oh man. You don't realize how much we take for granted until you're forced to use something objectively worse. Hey, Lemon. Lemon, do me a favor. Package at the door. Go grab it. Grab it right now. Grab it right now and bring it up to me. Like, right now. Yes, I'm aware. Local save beacon. You don't need to tell me there's a save beacon. I see it on the map, you narcs. Run, Lemon, run. Ow, fuck. Scan. Let me scan you. No, fuck! I wonder, does that happen again if I leave? I can't leave. Erohon? No! No, it's not a porn book. Fucker. Why the fuck would I have one of those shipped, knowing full well I live with my damn brother? What is wrong with you? I just buy it in person. Also, I guess I was wrong. Apparently the old games just don't restore your missiles at save stations. Yeah, I don't... No missile restore there. Huh. I'm definitely misremembering then. Oh. Here's an interesting tidbit of information. This is... Give. Just, yeah. Thank you. Object scan complete. Hibernetic stasis chambers. Life sizes of hibernating bioforms within the chambers are steady. Chambers are made of a number of exotic metals. It would be quite difficult to breach them without conventional with conventional weapons. So yeah, that's where all of the NPCs in Metroid Prime 2 technically are. We will meet one that's still awake. Here, disappears. Yeah. Ew, goopy splinter, weird bugs. Oh no! I think what's really dark about the darkness taking over the enemies is you can see how painful it is to a living creature to be consumed. And you see it on these bugs, but you're gonna see it happen to the space pirates too, and it's actually kind of fucked. That's not my missile key. Alright, bring in the big boy. Ah, bish. Also, the AI in this game is a little better. As you can see, the splinter is actually kind of like predicting ahead and jumping to where I'm moving rather than simply where, in the first game there was a little bit of that, but it's mostly on targets that would shoot. Not really stuff that would jump at you. First boss, baby! Ah! Get off me! But when he's in Dark Alpha Splinter, when he's darkened, he actually doesn't lead as much as he did in the regular stage, which is interesting because it shows you a difference in behavior, not just like mechanically, but like also kind of in the lore. Splinter TMNT? No, that's a rat, not a bug. And that's a based rat. That boy's on our side. The basest of rats. Hey, Samus. I mean this with all due respect. Maybe interfacing with alien technology all the time might have a detriment at some point. Just thought. No negative impact on suit performance. Uh-huh. Translator files. We don't have any of those. Oh, Jesus. My throat got dry all of a sudden. What the fuck? Also, the another detail in Prime 2. The map is more detailed. It you know, like you get a lot more information from the map because they use more keys. But it's not that important, to be honest with you. It's like 2 or 3 more things that they show you. Ugh. There's definitely a clear progression of like the things that they improved upon from like Prime 1 to more alien DNA, more power. Absolutely. Absolutely. We just need to get that alien DNA. Monstrosity by the end. Yeah, to be fair, she's got like, by the end of Dread, she has Chozo, X-Parasite, and Metroid DNA. Oh my god, he talks! First NPC in the Prime series. Amazing. There were now 2. A meteor crashed onto the planet and split the planet into 2. A shadow dimension, a rift created. I wonder what this meteor could have been. And that obviously, like, if you play the first game, the only, like, you'll see the only similarities, or the connecting point being that both of these planets had a meteor land on them. And obviously Dark Samus is here now. Nothing of peace or mercy. They're also not that intelligent, technically. They kind of beat the shit out of the Luminoth, despite the Luminoth being a warrior race. So, despite them not being as intelligent as the Luminoth, that shows you their veracity. Oh, there you go. That's why. I say they're not that intelligent, but the Ing were actually really fucking smart. You see how skinny those arms are? Mothra's super frail. Okay, but they're like 8-9 feet tall, and it's all exoskeleton. Like, they were a warrior race, like, able to compete with the Chozo, and the only reason they lost is because haha meteor fucked your planet. And the Chozo were actually losing to the same meteor, too. Type of meteor, not the same one, obviously. Like, look how big that fucker is. Probably have beam weapons also. Spoilers. Yeah, they do. Also uplifted by the Chozo. I don't think the Luminoth were uplifted by the Chozo, but I don't remember. I'm gonna have to look it up. Because I know the Elysians in Prime 3 were uplifted by the Chozo. And I think there's mentions of the Chozo in this game, but I don't remember. Because I might just be misremembering and bringing information from 3 into 2. I think they didn't, it was more like trading and stuff. That's probably the case, yeah. I think that was the case. But I have to see, because, like, there aren't... Yeah. The Golden Age. And then you get, like, the whole... And the amount of writing that they put into the lore entries in 2 is insane, and that's why they tell you, hey, if you want to read the lore entry, you gotta do it in the menu. Because it's a fucking lot. Like, each one is easily, like, I would argue, like, maybe half a page to a page times New Roman, font size 12, of just straight lore. And there's so many of them. It definitely feels a lot like playing Dark Souls and reading item descriptions, except instead of item descriptions, you just get the scan visor. And these little thingies are the equivalent... Well, maybe not. Never mind. Right. Oh, they do take damage from there. I was gonna say they're the equivalent of the floating orbs, but I realize there actually is an equivalent for those later on in the game. These are just kind of hovering there a little. Just chilling, providing some light. Which is really important, given the existence of Dark Ether. You know, stuff that provides light will help us plenty. Also, no gravity suit in this game. Instead, it's boosters on the back. Sort of. It's like a turbo turbine that's attached to Samus's back. And it's fucking sick. Splinter Cocoon. Oh shit, I didn't scan it earlier. Lol. Can I? Huh. Alright, Charge Beam doesn't break those. No, go away. I'm just trying to... Oh. God damn it. Huh. Here it comes. And if you kill them fast enough, it just doesn't touch them. Yay! Yay for being good at the game. Oh, that's right. I know what that is. Did I miss one? No, I didn't. It didn't suck up any of them. What do you mean? You lied to me! Deceitful. Alright, so our path is... I gotta use this to open the map. What do you mean, Captain? It's right there. Where? Where? I don't see it. Chat, are you schizo or am I schizo? It's over here, so... There's also T here. Which one am I going to? I don't remember. God, I haven't played 2 in so long. Ah, not this way. Can I get that missile expansion this early? No. No, I can't. Because I need to get up there. And for that, I need double jump. Or do I? Yes, I do. Also, I kind of like the architecture of the Luminoth better as well. This isn't like a Prime 1 versus Prime 2 thing. This is literally just... I think the Luminoth are a cooler race. That's not to say the Chozo aren't cool as fuck. They're awesome. But the Moth people just edge them a little bit. Just a teensy bit. I like how it's weirdly centered when I scan some places. Oh! Yeah, okay, so that... The translation on the door said it, but like, another place that's like very affected by, Jifimiz, by the war is the place we're going to first, which is Aegon Wastes, which did not used to be wastes. I believe Aegon used to be a jungle, if I remember correctly. Or like a forest. It had a different name in the lore, and somewhere along the line they tell you what it was actually called. It had a name prior. Oh, Aegon Plains. It used to be Plains. They basically nuked their planet. I mean, yes, a meteor fucking landed on it and brought about, like, a radioactive toxic substance. So, yeah, that kind of sounds like a nuke. And, like, the meteor landed on Ether a long fucking time ago. Like, the meteors that landed on Talon 4 and Ether, I believe, landed around the same time. It's just only now are we getting to Ether, and the Luminoth did a lot better surviving than the Chozo did. You know, they put themselves into hibernation, they locked everything up, their war with the Ying went fucking crazy, apparently. Meanwhile, the Chozo just died to the radiation. They died to the poison. They couldn't cure it. They couldn't fix it. The only... And I think the Luminoth got kind of lucky, in a sense, because all of the Phazon, or the vast majority of the Phazon, went into Dark Ether. Which means their planet didn't get corrupted anywhere near as quickly as Talon 4. Ew, worms! But also, like, this worm will actually show you a little bit of what I meant earlier when I was in Prime 1, talking about, like, how a lot of the enemies have more... They're not just shoot and kill, like, any spot on their body. A lot of the normal enemies just straight up have, either immune to damage and they need, like, you need to shoot their weak spot for it, but... Or they have more interesting or, like, more advanced AI patterns. Not a crazy deal, more advanced, but, like, you can definitely tell that you know, like, they were learning, and they were, like, picking up new ways to do things, and, like, they figured out, hey, we could do this, hey, we could change the AI this way, hey, we can upgrade the AI, and it's very cool. And I think, like, they definitely also peak there with Prime 3. A lot of the enemy AI feels very satisfying to fight against in Prime 3. Ow. I like how the Luminoth gave us one translation file and has not given us jack shit. I'm pretty sure he could translate everything if he wanted to. This used to be planes. Sonic detection gear. Ah, yes, that's a visor. But yeah, so like you can tell that this has been a desert for a while, because like the biology has already changed significantly and evolved. Like, it's been a really long time since the meteor landed. I think Talons might have actually been earlier than... Or, not earlier. I think the Ether meteor actually landed earlier than the Talon one. Just based off of stuff like that. Or, you know, they could just retcon stuff, because... I don't know. Control emitter that we need, that's gonna be later, and we can't scan this because we don't have the translator module. These are lores, by the way. Those are what the lore look like in this game. But yeah, I mean, because like the main thing from Talon, they never mentioned that the planet changed significantly, just that it was poisoned. And in Prime 2, we see a lot of things where it's just like, oh yeah, this thing is like a desert plant. And they tell you that Aegon wasn't a desert. So in order for that all to have happened and these plants to have become desert plants, a significant amount of time has to have happened. At the very least, even if it wasn't like evolution, like these plants have to have been brought here. So they just throw more information here at you. Pretty much. They tell you more about the planet. In Prime 1, it's basically less so telling you about the planet and more so telling you about how the Chozo were dealing with the poison with Phazon. Alright, I don't have a bomb. Yet. Yeah, a lot of the lore in this game does center about the changes to the planet. Space pirates strangely dislike theft. Isn't that ironic? And look at their design in this game. Look how cool they look. Look at this shit. Fuck. I love that. I love that. Yeah, so, an interesting kind of like detail from Prime, or just something that has been the case for all the Metroid games. Space pirates modify their biology to suit like whatever their current home planet is. So space pirates have several like home worlds, quote unquote, right? Like they conquer planets, they conquer sectors and stuff like that, and then they claim it as their own. And what a space pirate looks like depends on what sector they're from or what planet they occupy. So, for example, the ones in Prime 2, they obviously didn't modify themselves explicitly for Ether, but it's possible that with the information of Phazon, that the ones from Prime 1, they're just like, hey, you, pirates from this sector, we have this info on Phazon. Or maybe they stole the info from those pirates in Phazon. Because let's face it, they might all be under one, like, government or whatever. They might technically all be under the control of one leader. But at the end of the day, space pirates also just don't trust each other either. Which is why they basically do everything by force against each other. Easiest plot points to always have them look different. Yeah. They just mutate themselves based off of that, and they all have a bunch of fucking home planets that they all visit occasionally. It's just like, okay, well. But yeah, I mean, like, the pirates from Prime 2 are most likely from a different sector as the ones from Prime 1, and they're like, yeah, we stole all this information of Phazon. And I think the ones from Prime 3 are just mutated by Phazon, if I remember correctly. Because obviously they've been learning from Phazon, and they've been, like, picking up information from each other at some point, so either they're the same at that point, or they're a different one that... Telluric alloy. That is power bomb, I think. Oh, actually, no. That might just be regular bombs. You know, like, they're either the same at that point and they're mutated by Phazon, or they are different. They are different, and... they just stole all the information from the pirates in 1 and 2. Okay, well... That's to restore power. Oh, look at this! That's curious. Target is in a state of dimensional flux. So you have to go into Dark Ether to turn this shit on so you can open this in both worlds. Yeah. It's a really cool mechanic. The dimensional shifting in this game, it's like, oh yeah, in order to progress certain things, you have to go to the dark parallel or the light parallel and open it there before you can actually do anything. And in general, Prime 2 feels a lot bigger than Prime 1, and one of the benefits is, one of the reasons they were able to do that is because the Dark World and the main world, Ether and Dark Ether, share the same map, right? So the structure of each section of each area is the same. It's just textured differently and lit differently. And there might be some things that they add here and there, but they effectively let you have two completely different worlds using the same map. It's definitely, you know, like a cool way to add more content. And it doesn't feel repetitive because the two worlds do feel very different. Just because, like, there's some things that change in one and not in the other, and, you know, like, that pillar might not be in Dark Ether at all. I think one of the criticisms of Prime 2 that people had was that progression in Dark Ether early on feels really slow because you have to go through the, well, you don't have to, but, like, if you don't go through the safe zones, you're going to take a lot of damage, so you're kind of limited to how far you can explore in Dark Ether early on. This room looks similar. So basically two different maps. Pretty much. It's two different maps using the same layout. Yeah. This looks very familiar. This is this feels like a boss arena, wouldn't you agree? Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. But that's not a boss. Can you, like, fuck off for, like, 2 seconds? Oh, God. Behold! A sub-guardian. This is actually a boss. Yeah, one thing that I think people had a complaint about for some things, a definite complaint for Prime 2 is, people mentioned that some of the bosses, or rather the sub-bosses, their names are kind of generic. I don't really care. I didn't really find that to be a big issue, because it's an ing. It's a mutated creature. The Bomb Guardian is a dark alpha sand digger. Like, it's fine. But yeah. Nah, it's minor complaint, I guess. Even then, I feel like just the sand word, pretty much, yeah. Sand digger. The 2D games also kind of have some, like, I wouldn't say generic, but there's some bosses and creatures in the 2D games that I feel like just also have generic names. I don't think everything needs to be hyper unique, personally. Joke boss. It's a mini boss. It's for the upgrade. Yeah, no, it's literally just for the upgrade. Some of the bosses will feel easy in this game. There are more bosses in general than in Prime 1. So some of them are just kind of like a cakewalk. They're basically mini bosses. Also, I was playing in hard mode on Prime 1, and I don't have, because this is on an emulator, I don't have hard mode unlocked here, but I don't actually remember if Prime 2 had a hard mode. I think that might have been an addition to the remaster. And I think, in general, ignoring difficulty levels, I think Prime 3 had the hardest bosses. Imagine possessing a worm and thinking you can win against Samus. Yeah, I mean, the Ing are just there, like, you know, they're intelligent, but not, like, you know, their critical thinking skills are not exactly the greatest. They're just, they're like, yeah, we're gonna use force to kill you. Full stop. They're smart enough to realize they can overwhelm and like take over stuff and steal technology and shit like that, but apparently not smart enough to realize that Samus is a huge fucking threat with completely alien technology that the Luminoth weren't using. Alas, we have another NPC, but he's technically dead. Sentinel of the Aegon Temple. This message survives my death as guidance to one who would fight the Ing. Yeah, the only one that's alive, or the only Luminoth that are alive, is Umos, and the ones that are inside the hibernation pods. All of the other ones that we find in the world are dead, and will be holo-projected. Oh, okay. I think was it? So they're almost extinct, pretty much. There's enough of them that they won't go extinct if we save them. But yeah, they literally got driven to the last sect of them. Presumably the temple in the temple grounds has hundreds or even thousands of Luminoth that are alive. But, you know, thousands in an entire planet is not a lot. Amber holograms. While I don't think that the feeling of solitude and loneliness in Metroid games should ever be replaced, I do feel like something that is really good for the Metroid that can kind of be a similar, give the similar feeling, is the sense of mystery as a whole. So like, if you're going to have sections or have like a planet where Samus isn't completely isolated, making sure that there's mystery to unravel and things to learn on your own rather than people just straight up telling you, I feel like is the way to go. That's why I feel like too much exposition is really bad for Metroid, which is why NPCs that talk to you frequently is bad, but NPCs aren't inherently bad for Metroid. It just, yeah, you have to maintain the mystery and make sure that for the vast majority of the game, Samus is traveling alone. You know, like, she could very well go back to a hub where there's NPCs and be like, hey, I did this. Or like, hey, Samus, you unlocked this door for us, then we can now go explore this. Like, that's fine. But, like, don't give me exposition. That's what makes part of Metroid, yeah. And it's why I understand, like, the director of Metroid wanting to have more story and more storytelling and more characters involved in the story. Like, I get it. It's just, you know, like, I just don't really have faith that he's gonna do it the right way because of Other M. But then again, Dread exists, and he was also directing Dread. And Dread is fucking fantastic. Dread was great. So, what do I know? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's learned his lesson from Other M. Through vigilance, we create peace. Based as fuck. The missile expansions in this game look kind of goofy, I'm not gonna lie. But I like them. It's funny. I like the fact that the missile expansion does have a different model than the actual missile launcher as well. Whereas in the first game, it was the same. We won't know until you make it to the 4th. True! Although, to be fair, I don't know. I don't think the director of Metroid has anything. I don't think he supervises the primes as much as he does the 2D games. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. But based off of like the stuff that Retro Studios was talking about in one of their logs, I do think Nintendo does kind of like tell them, hey, you gotta fix this, hey, you gotta fix that. So it's very possible that the director still has some sway over like the way Retro Studios makes the game. But I think at the very least, gameplay-wise and aesthetically, or for the most part, I think Retro is mostly independent. To be seen. I have to read more of like the, or listen to more of the developer interviews. I know as far as Prime 1 goes, they were pretty independent. I think with Prime 2 is where they got a little bit more Nintendo up their ass. Now watch them be in pain. Suffer! And one of the craziest designs in this game is the fucking Dark Troopers, or Dark Pirate Troopers. Fucking wild. God, I love this game. I love this game so much. How the fuck did that miss? You explain that to me. Can you stop targeting the corpse? Thank you. Skill issued again. The game doesn't like me, bro. Oh wait, I can scan that now. Light of Ether. The Golden Age. Wait a minute, the Golden Age? Destiny! Did Destiny copy Metroid? Oh yeah, I think the puzzles using the Morph Ball in Prime 3 were actually really fucking good. Like I said, what made 3 the worst of the 3 Prime games for most people is just, it's way more linear. It's significantly more linear. But as far as like the gameplay and like the I definitely think, again, my rating is basically Prime 2 is the best one. Prime 1 and 3 are at the same level for me. And I think if they were ever to do like a full rescope of Prime 1 and bring in like the missing bosses and stuff like that, it has the potential to be better than Prime 3. But as it is, being the shortest and like the least mechanically intensive, I think it's fine to say that as a game, Prime 1 and 3 are at the same level. I think I enjoyed the gameplay of 3 a lot. I like the gameplay of 3 a lot. It's just more linear. Oh, wait a minute. That's kind of... Oh, wait a minute. Alright, I'm gonna do you a solid. I'm gonna do you a super solid. Those little pill bugs, I'm gonna show you what they look like. And I want you to remember them and commit it to memory. Or at the very least, write yourself a note. Because their design is going to show up as a boss in a completely different area. Or very similar to their design. And it just made me realize that that boss is an evolution of these pill bugs. I'll show you in a second as soon as the cutscene's over. It's a little pill bug. He spins, he rotates. Maybe not exactly the same, but you'll see it's very, very similar. They roam through caves in search of moss and fungus. Pillbugs can move rapidly and will ram their path. Yeah, yep. I'm pretty sure the design similarity is intentional. I'm pretty sure. Also, one of my favorite things about the Luminoth is their abundant use of light in technology. I think it is. I'm not, like, I can't tell you for sure that it is. But the design between the two is so similar that I feel like it's intentional. For me, I didn't pay that much attention to it. Yeah. I only notice now. I only notice now. It's like, you know, like, I just... But I'm also, like, super... Like, I pay attention to detail a lot. Just because it... I think a lot of cool stuff is hidden in games through detailing, through small details. Oh noes, the portal closed. I can just reopen it by scanning. Am I going to? No, because I need to go this way. Touch it, Samus. And this specifically is why some people don't think Prime 2 is the best one. Is having to stay within these bubbles early on makes the progression in Dark Ether a little slower. You can't keep getting away with this! Some safe zone must be shot to function. Energized safe zones don't last forever. See, and then they're kind of like explaining to you here, which I don't think they need to. I think the fact that you can scan it and see it, and then you can just scan it, it should be just tell you. But at the same time, it's basically just, I guess, the computer or the Samus's suit AI talking to her at that point. But I don't think too much explanation is necessary for that specific mechanic. Because you can just scan it. Or just be there like, hey, you can shoot this orb, and then let it speak for itself afterwards. Oh, fuck, it's these things. The bubbles kind of added a new layer of exploration. They did. They definitely did. It's just that, like, unfortunately for a lot of people, they felt limiting. Like in Silksong. Yeah, actually, yeah. They forced you to, you know, like, progress through certain ways. And, like, they limited your progression based off of your upgrades, like in Dread. Also, being in the light bubbles heals you. Very slowly, but it does heal you, so it's not too bad. You could always explore however you want, so long as you go back to a bubble. I don't remember there being, like, a similar mechanic in Dread. I know in Dread, you're limited by, like, the suit upgrade, and the ice area, once the area freezes over, and the lava area having... You needed the Vario suit for, but... I don't know. But yeah, the bubbles also definitely made the Dark Ether feel significantly different from Ether, because you had to explore in specific patterns. And also just completely different enemies on Dark Ether make it different. Theoretically, I should have gone back to Ether, but we're gonna explore as much as I can in Dark Ether before I go back. Fucking... So... Remember how we were saying, like, there was less saturation in this game? Like, the colors feel a little bit less saturated? In Dark Ether, you have, like, the different texturization of, like, inside of the dark and in the light, and it's honestly just, like, the color choice between dark and light stuff and stuff that's lit up and stuff that isn't lit up is really nice. And the way the texture changes when you, like, when you light these up is really neat, in my opinion. Are there worms in Dark Ether? There should be. Pretty sure there are. Oh, God. Oh! Hi! I forgot! So this is an actual Ing in their true form. Why is it using light attacks? I don't know, but apparently they can use the light. What a cool fucking alien race, too. Like, like their design is so, like, completely alien. They have 5 legs, by the way. Ow. Fun fact, they do try to possess you. But they can't. Because Samus is her. Yeah, that's what they do. So the little dark thingies, the little flying orbs that you see that possess like corpses and stuff. Those are the Ing. Like those are the big Ing. Those are these things. They can't normally travel into the light world regularly, so they have to possess stuff in order to do that. The Luminoth were still losing, despite them only being able to possess in the light world, which is fucking insane. That shows you just how dangerous the Ing are. But, actually, I just noticed a little detail. The moving zones, the moving light zones, don't change the coloration in the ground. And I'm pretty sure it's because that would have lowered the performance of the game. But yeah, Samus is hella built different. She's her, bro. She's her. I don't think this is really a controversial take, but it is a power scaling take, so it doesn't matter if it's controversial or not. Someone's gonna hate me for it. I don't care. The Metroid universe is definitely like higher on the power scale than the Halo universe and a lot of other sci-fi. Like, even the Galactic Federation Trooper armor is just... In lore, it's supposed to be, like, super fucking crazy. The fact that the Ing go through it is supposed to show you that the Ing are really crazy strong. But, like, yeah, like a GF Trooper is significantly stronger than, like, regular normal Metroids or grown-up Metroid. No, the Metroid universe, not grown-up Metroids. Like, just characters and, like, enemies and allies and shit and Samus versus, like, all of the characters in Halo. It's just... Like, the Chozo are insanely OP. Isn't Ridley planet level? You mean, like, Ridley could destroy planet? Is that what your... That's what your planet level means, right? Theoretically, yes. But not because he has, like, any one ability that could blow up a planet. It's just he's really vicious, really intelligent, really resilient, and the fucker doesn't die. But Ridley is not just a space pirate. He's him. Ridley is fucking him. Ridley has destroyed planets. Not on his own, mind you, with his fucking armies of space pirates, but, like, the dude's insane. I mean, Samus blows up planets. Though technically it's by triggering shit. Yeah, with the ship, a planet cracker. Yeah. Like, Ridley himself isn't planet level, but he absolutely has the technology to do that shit. Can you stop jumping so much so I can actually shoot you? Thanks. Stop forming that shield around yourself, prick. I will hurt you violently. Yeah, I wouldn't call Ridley planet level on his own. I would just say, like, the technology and the tools that I think anyone in the Metroid universe does, to be fair. Yeah, Metroid universe just has, like, really, really good tech. The Chozo could technically wipe out the entire galaxy, and one of them is still trying to. Or, well, was technically trying to. Although, maybe not wipe out, more so just take over completely. And he would have done it, too! He would have done it, too. Samus is literally the only person who could have stopped him. And if Samus wasn't able to stop him, what's funny is Ravenbeak's entire goal was to use the X-Parasites in place of the Metroids, since the Metroids were, like, I guess, wiped out by the Point in Dread. So he was trying to, like, clone more X-Parasites and create them to be his new weapon, since there's no more Metroids that he can use. And then Samus shows up, and he's like, you know what I could do? The Chozo must be an oldest... They are. They're like... I think the Chozo are the oldest alien race in Metroid. They're predecessors to pretty much everyone. And they existed well before, like, humanity got to the space age. Like, they were already in their golden age at that point. What's it called? But if it weren't... If... At the end of Dread, if Samus loses, right? If you lose to Ravenbeak, his entire goal is to clone Samus because she has Metroid DNA and he can control them since he would have, Old Robe or Grey Robe or whatever his name was. So imagine some dude having a bunch of knockoff Samus clones at his beck and call. Ravenbeak's kind of fucking OP. The first race to achieve space stage. Yep. That's exactly it. And then they fucking killed themselves because they were divided between, hey, because the Chozo were originally a warrior race as well. They were originally a warrior race, and then they split off into, like, the more, hey, we should do technology and shit, and we should do things to, like, uplift other people, and that's why in the Primes, there's races that they've uplifted, because they're just like, hey, we need to uplift races so that, like, they can achieve the state that we're in, and, you know, find peace, and start dealing with, like, suffering and strife and all this shit. And then the other faction of the Chozo were just there like, no, we should just conquer them. That should be our goal. We should conquer all the other races. And Ravenbeaks is part of the Conquerors. They maintain their warrior ways. I remember, like, there was some sort of compromise between the two clans at one point, but then obviously by the time you get to Dread, it's just they're like, yeah, fuck that. No more. No compromise. We're done. And it's kind of just because they killed each other at that point, and there's very few Chozo, so there's only there's two major ones. I forgot what they're called. It's the Malkin and the Thoha, I think they're called. The Thoha being the wisdom ones, the ones that want to uplift, and the Malkin being the warriors. So there were other clans, it's just those are the, like, the overarching ones, those are the main ones. And we technically see two big ones and the small ones, yeah. So, like, the ones that we see on Talon 4 and Prime 1, that's one of the small ones, technically. Pretty much. The Talon 4 Chozo became shamanistic and decided, hey, we don't want to make any new technology and shit. We're going to go back to our ways by becoming one with nature. So they split off from the Thoha and the Malkin and just returned to Burb, I guess. Unfortunately, their spiritual freedom was kind of short-lived. Yeah, because some fuck-ass Metroid, or not Metroid, some fuck-ass meteor landed on the planet and killed them. What's probably funny is, if they hadn't abandoned all of their technology, they probably could have fought off the Phazon. But they literally only had, like, bare minimum technology that was, like, mostly spiritual stuff. So that's kind of on them, to be honest with you. To be quite fucking honest. Dark door. Oh, hi. Is there another one? Oh no, it's just these things dying. Nope, there is in fact another one. You motherfucker. We got space jump already. Ugh. But yeah, typical Stellaris playthrough from the Chozo. Very, very typical. You had the two factions. You had the fanatic militarists and the, I guess, the egalitarian materialists, and then a faction splits up because they don't like the two. And you get the fanatic spiritualists that abandon all technology, get a single planet, and then just get wiped out because no resources. No tech. Should have spec'd into your ascension tree way sooner, buddy. At least they could turn into ghosts. Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, because a lot of them died to Phazon specifically, the Phazon drove their ghosts mad, so they were just fucking crazy psychopaths. But hey, that's a small price to pay for, you know, being able to live in the afterlife, I suppose. And then Samus comes along and kills them a second time, and it's over from there. Truly L ratio scoreboard, pussy. I don't know. At some point, when they stop making expansions to Stellaris, I want to see if there's the slightest possibility that that might be a stream with Ryo and Aniki. Stellaris is so stupid and so much fun, but it lasts so long. We got double jump. Oh look, there's a fucking energy tank up there. Where the fuck am I going? Dark World is X. Speaking of that, I think the Psionic Ascension one came out already. Oh, please! Please! I love Psionic shit. Oh my god, the end of the cycle, it comes! Allow me to end the galaxy properly. Makes sense. The show picks that? What do you mean? Is it because of Prime 4 having psionics? In my defense, I didn't pick psionic or like any psionic abilities when I played Mass Effect. My main character, my Shepard, was stealth shotgun / sniper. I would just pop out of stealth and one-shot things from behind. And I waifu'd Tali. I didn't waifu Liara, except for the first game where we banged, I guess. I felt really bad going from Liara to Tali because I felt like I was forsaking Liara, but at the same time, Tali, best girl, I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you, buddy. Where the fuck am I going? I think I have to go to the Dark World, actually. Based me too. I like my goofy, slightly autistic... Well, I guess they're both slightly autistic, actually, just in different ways. Your turn. Yeah, I think I have to progress through the Dark World, actually. Oh, wait, no, I need the boost ball for this. The true waifu is the blue MILF, and you can't stop me. I'm not trying to stop you. As long as I get Tali, you're good to do whatever the fuck you want. Oh, no, it's over here, isn't it? So the portal is... Portal here. Portal here. Am I dumb? Hold on a second. Just to point something out as a guess, like a fun tidbit about myself. I have a friend. I picked her first, and you know you picked her because of me. No, I didn't. I didn't pick Tali because of you, you fucking asshole. Stop taking credit like for the stuff that I do. I picked Tali because I liked her more than Liara when the second game came around. I'll kill you. I'll kill you where you stand. How dare you attribute my choices to you, motherfucker? But yeah, where was I? Some fun little tidbit about myself. Yeah, the friend who tried his absolute hardest to get me into Mass Effect, and then I actually ended up playing it like 3 years after he tried to get me into it. I picked her in 1, so I win. You can't pick Tali in 1. Smart one. You literally can't. But anyways, you can if you pick neither. But that doesn't... That's not the same! You don't get romance scenes with Tali in 1. I get what he's saying. I do get what he's saying. I just think the fact that he's trying to attribute my decisions to him and then using that as a fucking excuse and justification for it is mildly infuriating. I'm falling for the rage bait, by the way. I know he's doing this just to rage bait, and I'm falling for it. It's fucking working. I don't want him dead. I want him atomized. And I keep bouncing between that and the thing that I actually wanted to say, which is, so the friend that got me into Mass Effect, he's just doing his job. The friend that got me to... Oh, yeah, so Aegon Waste used to be a paradise, apparently. Like genuinely, like, Gaia world type shit. Ether used to be freaking beautiful. But, again, getting distracted by, like, 1,000 other things. The friend that got me into Mass Effect said that as I was growing up, as we were growing up, and throughout college and all that good shit, he basically said that I reminded him a lot of Garrus. And I guess primarily it's because of the way that I treat social situations. And just kind of like, I tend to be kind of logic-minded. You know, I'm calibrations. There used to be a lot of times that he'd be talking to me or trying to talk to me, and since obviously I took programming courses throughout high school and college, there'd be times where I'd say like, hey, you know, let's talk about this later. I'm working on code. And he would just straight up compare me and be there like, yeah, you do the calibrations thing a lot more than you think you do. I was like, alright, fair enough. I'm not gonna tell you who I am. I'm just gonna act the way I do, and then you make the comparisons. But they like those friends of mine have also known me for a huge chunk of my life. You know, like we did space pilot training together and all that good shit. How unfortunate that I ended up a space pirate and he's a alien tongues translator. Very useful when it comes to not invading, borrowing alien artifacts that I need to know what they do. You and your brother are Rex and Grunt, respectively. Shepard. Grunt. Rex. Shepard. God, the party was so cathartic. Like, being able to do that party and talk to everyone in the middle of it is so fun. Shepard. I would venture to say that Grunt and Rex are absolutely goated characters, and anyone who slanders them will be put to death. Honestly, I think the only characters that I didn't like were a couple of the ones from 2 question mark? Was the buff dude that does the pull-up bar? He was from 2, right? Yeah. Him and Taylor are kind of boring characters, kind of one-dimensional, one-note. I didn't really care for them too much. I think they were like the least interesting. And they had pretty good potential too, but it's like, I think Taylor was that was the black dude, right? I can't remember which one was which, because, oh no. The buff dude had a Hispanic name, if I remember correctly. The black dude was Taylor, for sure. He was just literally, like, by the book soldier, the character. They were the human ones, but not a lot of thought put into it. Yeah. It's just, like, in comparison to Ashley and what's his name, the other one from 1, I can never remember his name. The ones that are supposed to be, like, the human partners in 1. The human, teammates, crewmates. Sus. Those 2 were definitely a lot more interesting as characters. Oh, shit. And I feel like for Taylor specifically, it was literally just that they made him like the by-the-book soldier, and that was his entire personality. He didn't have anything going on. There wasn't anything interesting. His input was always, well, the book is this, or like, oh, this is the way you're supposed to do it. This is, you know, procedure. Ashlyn Caden. There we go, Caden. And they just didn't really offer any, like, interesting dialogues for the most part. Whereas, like, Caden and Ashley definitely had, like, you know, they had some philosophy going on. They had the way they treated the galaxy. With Ashley, you had her, like, you know, like, the whole fact that she's religious, and as you say, like, oh, well, how do aliens fit into that? And, like, you know, like, they started talking about it. And, like, you get interesting insights from multiple perspectives. And then Taylor just, you don't, what fucking insight does he have? He's just, you're not doing things by the book, which means you're doing things wrong. That was his insight. That being said, they weren't, like, terrible characters. They were just one note. Little uninteresting. Not terrible. They could be way worse. They could have been quippy motherfuckers that don't shut up. That was the case. And, like, there's a character, I wanted to hate Jack. I really did want to hate Jack. But by the time that you're, like, when you get to Mass Effect 3, and if you're, like, doing things properly and not just trying to piss everyone off, like, she's actually a very interesting character. And, like, going into Mass Effect 3, like, she just... What a great character progression that she gets. You know, as long as, again, you're not pissing everyone off and everybody stays alive. Okay, I'm missing something. I'm not sure where I'm going at the moment. I think I might have to go back to Temple Grounds. Super Missile. Can't go through here. Because I can't access this portion in the back, I think. Pretty sure I can't. Which means I go back to the Temple Grounds, because I'm definitely not... I can't progress here at the moment. The guide is gonna show up and tell me, hey, idiot, you've been bumbling around like a fucking moron for like the past 20 minutes. Here, let me tell you where you need to go. Yeah, I definitely need to go back to Temple Grounds. Double jump and missiles means we can access stuff that we weren't able to access before and possibly get to a different elevator. I have a proposition regarding how one could have fixed Metroid Prime 3. I think 3's biggest issue... I mean, besides, obviously, the fact that his message retracted... Oh, rip. You didn't have to delete it. It's fine. Yeah, but it was weird on chat. Human's companion got the short end of the stick for real. By the way, that didn't show up in top chat, which is weird. One of them had to die, so you can't keep both out. So, there was a couple of things... It was fine, I just said it first. Lol. So, I just switched to all chat, just because I forgot... Or live chat, because I forgot earlier. And 2 of you guys' messages actually didn't show up, so I apologize for not responding to those. Also, my avatar is frozen. Human's companions got the short end of the stick for real, didn't show up, but one of them has to die so you can't keep both, also didn't show up in top chat. Why? I don't fucking know. YouTube, let me pick the list of filter words, and you mind your own business. How about that one? Hmm? If I want to get a strike for stupid words, let me get the strike. That's on me. Stop trying to fucking censor normal shit. Oh, actually, I'm dumb. I don't need to go back to Temple Grounds. I go up here. I think. Oops. The Cataclysm. Oh, that's why I didn't get a response. Yeah. You might want to fix up your avatar quick there. I mean, I'm almost done. Like, I'm gonna go to the next save station. And then call it there. Is it worth it? I don't know. I'll fix it just real quick, but... Next time, since I'm like right at the end, if it happens again towards the end, I'm just gonna leave it. It's not that huge of a deal. But yeah, I apologize. I need to like make it a habit to switch to live chat from the get-go. And I thought about it too before stream, while I was taking my nap, or before I took my nap, and I guess when I took my nap, I just forgot. Memory went bye-bye after nap. Look. It's a door. Nothing would damage this alloy. Great. Nap skill issue, yeah. Robbed me of my memory. Scuff beginning didn't help too, methinks. Yeah, you're probably right. Oh my god! I didn't realize those were phase-on tanks. Oh, but yeah, another thing is, in Prime 2, the pirates have actually mobilized phase-on, whereas in the first game, they couldn't really, like, take it to that many places, and you don't really see, like, tanks outside of, like, specific areas. In this one, you see them taking it between places. Like, you see, like, they've officially gotten to the point of, like, turning this into a freaking, like, drug operation. No, let me scan the skiff. Fuck! Well, damn it. Bring back the skiff, I'm gonna scan it. I like how some of them just kind of like warp in and the other ones that get brought in by the skiff. I wonder what the limitations on the teleport technology are for them. I don't know if that's ever addressed. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Hi! Scum Spacepire technology. Call of Duty's still on consoles, right? Like, I'm not saying, like, to get this. Just kind of like a question that I have. Because if it's still on console, and, like, there's all the movement tech in the, in the Call of Duty games, I feel like Metroid Prime could... Okay, cool. I feel like Metroid Prime could speed up the gameplay and difficulty in the same way that Dread did. Why wouldn't it be? I really don't know. Activision is not exactly a company that I would call reasonable. Whatever the way they have to, like, specifically throttle you, I would assume they would take it. But yeah, I think if Retro Studios really wanted to, they could do to Prime what Dread did to the 2D games and really speed up the gameplay. In a good way. In a good way. I'm not saying, like, the old games are slow, but I think it'd be interesting to see, like, combat mechanics get a little more complex. And I love this thing about Prime 2 it's not really as prominent in 1. Yes, the Prime games have cutscenes, but Prime 2 and 3 have, like, you can see NPCs and, like, the space pirates doing stuff while you're, like, sneaking around and shit. And obviously Prime 4 has that because we see it in the fucking opening sequence. And in the topic of a topic that I brought up in Prime 1, which was, oh look, Space Pirate logs. They have, like, these physical things. These are so cool. I love the way that they changed, like, Space Pirates and just, like, all the tech and shit. But the reuse of assets. Obviously there's some reused assets in Prime 2, particularly, like, Samus is the biggest example where they just use the same exact model. But in Prime 2, one of the most notable reuse of assets is sound effects. Like, the missiles sound the same, the space pirates sound the same, so on and so forth. So this is Ether, and then over there is the scan log for Dark Ether. Excuse me. Can't determine the origin of Ether's Dark Twin. Contains high levels of phase-on ore. Native bioforms attack on sight. Cannot... You know, they might know what the origin of Dark Ether was if they weren't just violently attacking everything and tried to translate Luminoth lore. But Space Pirates be as Space Pirates do. Can be energized with dark energy. Walk into an energized portal to transport to Dark Ether. And the Space Pirates somehow managed to harness dark energy, by the way. Which is, interesting to say the least. Space Pirates are smart. We'll go with that. The Space Pirates are really fucking smart. The problem is they're assholes. Even to each other. And, unfortunately, the smartest of all the Space Pirates is Ridley, who just dies every time Samus shows up because she has a hell of a grudge against him. Since Ridley kind of killed her parents, her human parents. And on top of all that, I'm pretty sure if you kept killing the guy that killed your parents and he kept coming back, I'm almost certain you'd be pretty fucking pissed. That being said, Ridley is absent from Prime 2. He doesn't show up in this game. And there's a couple of the 2D ones where he doesn't show up. He doesn't show up in Dread. But he shows up in 1. He shows up in 1. He shows up in which is Zero Mission. He shows up in 2. He shows up in Super. And he shows up in Fusion. Just not in Dread. So there's, I think, a total of 2 Metroid games where Ridley doesn't show up. Scans of the Dark Hunter have revealed she grows stronger, she consumes Phazon. By the way, this is where they originally thought she was Samus. It reminds me of that one video of Ridley shrugging while Samus curses him out. Yeah. Yeah. So here in this station, in this particular part of the game, they think Dark Samus is Samus. They think it's her. They think it's the same person. They're like, holy shit. Samus got really violent all of a sudden. Like, she's just cracked out of existence. Like, she was bad before, but fuck me, bro. She's double bad now. And then eventually they realize it's not the same person. Fuck you! Was it an animated video, or was it like the meme where it's just there like, you killed my whole family! What am I supposed to do now? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen it if it's that one. I'm almost certain. Okay, yeah. Wait, what? Planetary energies are critical, creating violent climate changes and tectonic shifts. Unless these conditions can be reversed, global destruction is inevitable. Yep, and that's what happens when they steal the planet's energy and put it to Dark Ether. Alright, I need a save station game. Thank you, please. Just one. They did update the beam energy in this game as well. So like the charge beam looks very different. And I know I was talking about like reusing of assets and stuff like that, but like the charge beam and the beam particles is not one thing that they reused. It's also, the Space Pirate turrets are completely different. They don't look as stupid, just with a big red or green square on them. I'm getting a little bit of slowdown, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the resolution that I have the game at. So I might lower that in the emulator settings later. Also, hi, they brought Metroids over to Ether. Isn't that cool? It is unable to enter sleep cycles. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's just the resolution. I can lower it a little bit, because the recommended was to put it at like your screen's native resolution, which for me is 2560 by 1440, and that's what I put it at. So I'm just gonna lower it to 1920 by 1080, and it should be fine. We will lose a little bit of quality, but that's not that big of a deal. It's still gonna be significantly better than the original 480. Yeah, they will definitely escape soon. That being said, these Metroids are kind of fucked because the space pirates just straight up hi. The Phazon doesn't let the Metroids go into sleep cycle, which means these are really hostile. And as you can tell, hence, look, Talon Metroid, they brought him from Talon 4, haha, reference to the first game. Leeches bioenergy from its victim. Stunned by concussive blasts, vulnerable to dark energy. That's interesting. The dark energy is strong against them. The dark side of the force. Barely alive and is periodically leech of his bioenergy. It's still, by the way, still alive. And he's being played with by the Metroids. He's still fucking alive in there. That is a way to go. Several pet treats and space pirate rations, and they do not agree with its digestive system. You see what I mean? Like, they keep some as pets and, like, treat them like pets. Energy drained repeatedly over the last 3 cycles. Cellular structure has become unstable as a result. Yeah, it's also, like, just look at those with the Phazon under them. Getting tortured pretty much. Listen, fuck space pirates, but that's still kind of brutal. I wouldn't. I just kill them. I don't torture them. Not saying that they don't deserve the torture. Some of them definitely do, Ridley. But that's probably just some grunt that got the short end of the stick and they tossed him in the tank with the Metroids. Probably did something stupid. I remember this room. Oh, discipline report. That's probably one of them. Training report. Here it is. Have been placed on low rations after being caught configuring the power storage racks for amusement purposes. Agility training is to occur only in sanctioned training areas. There you go. Metroids can be trained. After several cycles of trying, I believe Scientist has vapor for brains. I've lost 2 assistants to the wretched little things. This is humor. This is funny. I love this. I love this so much. I believe the science team has vapor for brains. Like, you cannot tell me that, like, that's not fucking hilarious. Also, sick design. The beak kind of makes them look like Chozo. They're like mad scientists crazy, absolutely. Although, to be fair, I'm going to give them a small benefit of the doubt, because there is a type of Metroid that can be trained, and Metroids themselves actually can be trained. You just need to be the Thoha or the Makin Chozo, because they made them, they created them. They're the only ones who can actually control them. But there's also the Machtroids, which I think it's like the Galactic Federation tried to replicate Metroids and create artificial Metroids in a lab. And the difference between them is not only are they significantly more docile, they're also weaker. And visually, you can tell they're different because the Machtroids only have 1 nucleus inside of their shell instead of 3. Mass breeding of Metroids underway. We will meet Command's quota within a cycle. Storage remains an issue. Recommended expansion of existing facility before critical Metroid level is reached. Maybe you should not do that. Yeah, it's a lot of these little things really make you realize that while the space pirates are complete, like, mad scientists and completely fucking insane, they're also still, you know, intelligent living beings with personality and shit. They're just all really fucked up civilization. It's like a neutral evil civilization. They're not really lawful, I guess. But they're not chaotic evil. They're just evil. Oh. Right. The upgrade's over there, so we're gonna want to drop all 3 of these. Also, puzzle solving using, like, moving shit by scanning. Wait, what? This is Delta Power Storage Rack Precision. Okay, that's great. Down. Also, subtly, you can tell which one's up and which one's down without them just straight up telling you which one's which, because you can see it based off of the design. Just simple evil, yeah. Terminated one of its handlers before it was subdued. Failed domestication session. I wonder why. Gamma Power Storage Rack. But yeah, it's just like visually designing, not needing to tell you which one's which is great. Obviously, like, you know, this one's going down, it's pointing down, the energy's going downwards. It's little touch. You can literally just visually see what you need. And that's just like a definitely... Like, that goes into game design, like the visuals and the art stuff, but like the artists and the people that made like the models and the textures did such a phenomenal job that you can legitimately just kind of tell what things do. I don't know why I did that. That one needs to stay in the middle. And I don't need to do this, but I want to scan it because it's throwing my my fake OCD off. I don't like seeing the red when everything else is green. Puzzle solved. Oh, look, a super missile door. The way that they present space pirates and their culture in Prime 2 and 3 is simultaneously really cool, really fucked up, and really funny. Oh, we got the dark beam this early. Well, I guess I've just done quite a bit of progress, actually. Nah, we got the dark beam pretty early. It's like definitely one of the first things. It's like the wave beam, I guess, at this point. Also, little bugs gather around the morph ball is a cool little detail in some open places where there's like ambient bugs. They gather towards light sources, and since the morph ball is a light source, you'll see little bugs fly up to the morph ball. It's stuff like that that reminds me that one time that Activision was trying to brag about like fish moving out of the way while you're swimming underwater was some sort of like massive technological feat. Like, bro, it's just pack AI. Like, it's not that hard. Well, I'm sure it was hard at some point, but like nowadays it's just kind of something that's built into most engines. So it's like, dude, even back then. Because, like, obviously, Metroid fucking has that kind of AI, and other games have had that kind of AI, and it's just, damn, I'm gonna make fun of Activision. Fuck them. But, making fun of Activision is gonna have to wait for another stream. Or Thursday, probably. Ugh. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here. I'm kinda hungry. Still a little tired. Activision slander stream? Absolutely. And it is a normal work week, which means tomorrow I gotta be nice and early up for the office. So, thank you guys for joining. We're making a good bit of progress in Prime 2 already, so I think it's still gonna take longer than Prime 1, but probably not by much. That being said, mata ne minasan. Oyasumi. I'll see you again on Thursday.